Hello and welcome back to Talk About Strange. Thank you for joining me here this evening. I got another really good story in from Arizona, Angie. She meant to send in 3 stories, but she said this one was running a little bit over 5 minutes, so she stopped there. I'm here to tell you, Angie, and I think everybody else will tell you, if you got a few stories, it's okay if you run over 5 minutes. I like to keep them around 10 or 15 minutes, 18 minutes, even if they run a little bit over that, as long as we're into a really good story that people want to stay for. But yeah, send them in. If I feel like there's too many or too long, I'll just save it for another episode. So don't worry about that. And nobody, she said, she's worried about anybody getting sick of her stories yet. And no, never going to happen. Keep sending them in. We love them. We'll share them and we'll enjoy them. Okay. I don't have any really big updates for you. I've been hearing the geese outside. I think they're heading back south because if you live in New York State, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's freaking cold. I'm tired of it being cold. I'm tired of having to run my heat. I want some warm weather. So if anybody has any warm weather out there they want to share, we'll take it. All right. Other than that, so we got a story from Arizona Angie, and we got a little short story from John. So for now, let's get right on to Angie's story here. And I don't have any other updates other than that. The move is coming along. I think pretty soon we're going to have to shut down completely for a little bit. But just for a short period of time, and then we'll be right back up and running. And I'll just continue with updates as we get them. Here we go. Hi, Steve. Arizona Angie. Here's a few experiences. One I had while visiting Tennessee in 2018. You guys are going to enjoy this. So while listening to some of my favorite podcasts and shows, they sometimes jar my memory of an experience that I've had. A few nights back, listening to a podcast about someone's Bigfoot experience in the surrounding area, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I remember some paranormal experiences. I mentioned previously my husband travels to different states for his job, and I have done some traveling with him. In October of 2018, we drove from California to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is considered Middle Tennessee. It was fall, which made it an absolutely beautiful drive through 6 states with all their gorgeous landscapes. We were in Tennessee for about 2 months. The weekends were spent doing a good amount of sightseeing, and also I went out on my own during a week while my husband was at work. We were staying at Wood Spring Suite on St. Rice Boulevard, right off from I-24, as a reference if anyone knows the area or is familiar with the area. A little backstory. I was doing an internet search for locations and events for my husband and I to venture to. I came across an evening being done by a local paranormal group, an event, I think he meant. They were going to talk about their group, how they conduct investigations and places they've investigated within the surrounding area. One of these places was a local historical battlefield. They were not permitted to investigate it, so they stayed outside of the perimeter of the fence, sometimes to see if they could detect anything. I don't remember if they had, but they did say that sometimes residents hear phantom gunfire. The Stones River National Battlefield was about 3 miles northeast from the hotel. My husband and I did visit it. It was beautiful and sad. The museum was very informative about the Civil War that took place. We walked around it to visit certain battlefield areas. One area is named Slaughter Pen. This area was definitely eerie. It's basically full of limestone boulders and documented as having been full of dead soldiers, with the grounds being soaked in blood. It's horrible. A few weeks after our visit, on a cold, rainy afternoon, as my husband was at work, I started dinner. Our hotel window was facing the direction of the battlefield. I had the TV on as I cooked, and I had the window open a bit for ventilation. About 3:50 p.m., I was cooking. I heard what could only be described as being gunfire. The really strange thing was, it sounded like actual gunfire on a battlefield. As I listened to the sound, it sounded like gunfire being answered back by more gunfire, an exchange of gunfire, multiple guns. The strangest of all was it sounded like musket fire. When I started hearing what really sounded like cannons firing, it was so bizarre. I looked out the window trying to figure out where it was coming from. It sounded like it was just a small distance away, but I couldn't see anything around. No police cars, no sirens. I was just puzzled. It went on for about 7 to 10 minutes, then nothing more. While listening, my mind could only comprehend it was coming from the Stone River battlefield and what that exact direction it sounded. It really sounded like it was a battle happening. I got a little upset thinking, darn, was there a reenactment that we had happened to miss? I decided to Google the battlefield website, hoping to find some type of event for that day. They would have had gunfire and cannon fire, but there was nothing. Excuse me. I even called and asked. The person I spoke with said nothing, that there was nothing happening. I didn't dare tell her what I had heard. I didn't want her to think I was insane, laugh out loud. The worst thing of all was that I didn't even think to grab my phone to record what I was hearing. I was just too busy trying to figure out if I was crazy. I finally came to the conclusion that what I heard must have been the echoes of the past that had been reported, a small piece of residual phantom battle creeping through the portals of time. My thoughts to this day is that I can only imagine what those poor soldiers had to endure with everything they went through. Steve, I was going to include 2 more experiences I had in Tennessee, but after proofreading this, I realized it was already about 5 minutes of reading for you. I'll send in the other 2 soon. Thanks, Steve. Talk soon. Angie. Arizona Angie. All right, Angie. Yeah, thank you for sending that in to us. That's a great story. And I'll tell you what, man, my heart goes out to soldiers then and now, our veterans and fallen soldiers and stuff throughout time. I mean, it just breaks my heart to imagine, what they went through as well. And I mean, what they still go through today. I mean, it's just gut wrenching, isn't it? Such a terrible thing. And this next platform that I'm working on, my next channel, a lot of that's going to be, if everything goes right, it's going to be dedicated to helping veterans and stuff. I got a lot of big plans for that. So this just, made me think about that. So thank you for sending that in. I really appreciate it. Let's do John's story here. He's just got a little one for us, just an experience that he had. So, hey, let me see. Can I open that up a little bit bigger? Not really. It's written small. A couple of weeks ago, I went hiking up in my favorite area, high up in the mountains of Lake Atlanta. I believe there's a family of Bigfoots that are in and around that area. I took one trail that will take you to the top of the mountain. Plus, I hadn't been up there in a very long time. Also, while I was up there, I wanted to try something new that I've heard in several of the videos. I set up my phone and Bluetooth speaker to play Native American drums and flutes music. A couple of minutes after starting to play it, the dogs around the area went total batshit crazy. After they stopped barking, I felt uneasy and like I was being watched. There was someone or something that was clanking rocks with beats of the drum. It took me a few minutes to figure out what was going on, and I thought it was pretty cool. Also, Lake Atlanta is where I cast my first Bigfoot footprint, 5/28/2023. Later, Steve and fam. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot about that. The flute playing, the drums. I mean, are supposed to be a major draw for Bigfoot activity. Next time you do that, make sure you record some of that for us, will you? I know you had your phone hooked up to the Bluetooth, but if you can figure out a way to maybe record some of the activity and send that in to us, I know our TAS family would love to see and hear that. So, all right. That's it for them. So that's going to be pretty short. Thank you for joining me here today. If you guys have stories you want to share with us, please don't forget to get them sent in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button I don't know if it's the whole like and subscribe, whatever. Hit the notification bell. You know, that's what I've been hearing. People telling me, what about the notification bell? So hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Talk About Strange. And I will see you again really soon.